I'm live through a whole new way here. I'm just gonna be live for a short time here because I'm putting laundry in. And give me 1 second. Hopefully, let's see. I don't know if I can see what you guys are saying. Put this right. Let's see, right here, maybe. All right, I'm gonna start some laundry real quick and talk with you guys just for a few minutes. Not for long. I don't even. I'm sure I won't even do laundry right for these people. I'm sure I'll be judged on how I'm doing laundry. I mean, this shit's crazy, guys. I can't even fucking speak without people like Michelle After Dark coming around and calling Fred a liar because we get because I say accidentally the boys were taken in August instead of July. Be so fucking for real right now. You can't to be fucking kidding me. So ridiculous, guys. The boys were taken like the last week of July, and Michelle After Dark does a video insinuating that Fred's a fucking liar because because I state that the boys were gone in August instead of instead of the last week of July, and somehow that makes Fred a liar. Please be so fucking for real. Like, what a fucking disappointment, dude. This woman lives across the fucking pond and acts like she knows something more than Fred does. And that knows that Fred's a fucking liar because I say I was a week off. She said about a year, maybe longer, she believes Don Wells. Well, there you go. There you go. Wow. Okay. Yeah. How does that make Fred a liar because I say accidentally August instead of July? Can somebody tell me now? Stupid, dude. So fucking dumb. Like, it must have been, she must have had absolutely nothing else to talk about. Trying to get something. Something decent to wear tomorrow. Like, it's crazy to me, guys. It's really, really fucking disappointing. Tell me how that makes Fred a liar because me, not Fred, I do. Hey, Lisa, because I say August. You guys, the boys were taken like the last week or almost the last week of July. And in a video where we're just talking, I state something like, I accidentally say August instead of July, which has nothing to do with Fred's, like, at all. That's quite different than him talking about his own experience, like around the time Summer went missing. That's going to be easier to remember dates because he recorded for law enforcement and had to go over certain things like the day of with law enforcement and days after. So that's going to be easier to remember on dates. Like why would it be Fred's responsibility to have an exact remember exactly when the boys were taken, or even when Don Wells came down there and started talking about and crying about how he had claimed to call CPS? Like, that is hard. That is completely different than right after Summer goes missing. Everybody's gonna remember June 15th. That's easy. So yeah, it's not our children. It wasn't his children. There's nothing that it just doesn't. I don't understand how that is somehow um means anything. Hey sister. Oh, I know, Pat, but I'm sure that these people will have. Oh, I'm sure I'm doing laundry wrong. They're gonna critique everything down to the specific items. Oh no, those items don't match quite right. Like, what a fucking loser, dude. These people have no lives and don't care anything about Summer Wells at all. They only care about drama and spreading false fucking bullshit on purpose and drama just for views because she knows Fred's name's gonna get views. Like, please. It's quite disappointing because I used to really like the woman until she started teaming up. Like, all it takes is somebody like Ryan to reach out to Michelle After Dark, and she's right on with the fucking hate. Besides that though, for real, like, why is she judging Fred because of something I say? Besides that, like, these people are pathetic, dude. Absolutely pathetic. Let's see. Here's Fred, a hoodie of Fred's. I'll put this on the chair. Wash this. All right. I don't know. I don't really see what. I don't know. And it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Oh, I didn't even watch it. I'm just going by what Fred told me. He's like, I didn't even say it. You did. And I'm like, God, these people. Like everything that we say and do, like is crazy to me. We can't even talk about the case openly, and if we don't get it exactly correct, like a certain info, that we're suddenly a liar. It's not an accident, or anything, or a miss. No, they give us zero grace. Like we're human too. We're gonna make mistakes about stuff like that. Especially me. How many times do I have to say, like, my memory is not that great, and at all. It's horrible. It's just pretty pathetic. Like we can't even fucking have a conversation without Michelle After Dark coming around and making her money off of Fred's name because he mistook by actually it was me. Once again, it was me. Hey Jessica. God. Get a life, Michelle, for real. Get a fucking life. That is really quite petty. How many times do we have to tell people over and over that the only things that Fred knows for sure, 100%, is that he recorded for law enforcement. He saw Andy on the road, and that's about it. We're allowed to talk about the case as well, and speculate on things. We're not gonna always either one of us. There's gonna be times that we mistake things or accident. I mean, hello, it's been 5 years. It is pouring outside. People are just so hateful, dude. So hateful. And all in the name of a little girl who's missing. Like, she literally couldn't talk about anything else in the video. Instead, she had to insinuate that Fred's a liar because I mistake by a week. By a week, dude. It was like the end of July when they were taken. Really fucking pathetic, dude. So you watched it. What'd she say? Oh, she didn't think it. oh, now Jody's her best friend too. Like, it's insane. I guess.
She said she agreed with it. Somebody wants to take put a little clip of 5 or 6 words I said, and then ask me about what I'm talking about. Like, put the context of the, and ask me.
They love doing that, clipping things like, and yeah, she agrees with Jody because and it was me, right? It was me that actually said it.
That's what Jody was playing. You were saying it.
Wow, dude. Be so fucking for real, dude. You guys are these people are reaching so bad. They so bad want to make us look a certain way or make Fred look a certain way that this is what they're resorting to because I say August instead of the end of July. That suddenly somehow like makes you a liar. But the dates around, like I said, the dates around summer going missing are going to be easier to remember because everybody knows June 15th. And at the time that Dawn came down there to Fred's, when he was crying about and being the crack fairy,
he wasn't crying, but he came and stuff and wanting to do dope and offering dope and stuff, crack.
And then he also said something about the boys being taken, right? Or
well, that was way up in the morning that he came back by and said that he had called the CPS to come and get them because they wasn't safe because of YouTube. And then that before I knew all about the Knoxville stuff that DJ was talking about.
But that was around the same time?
No, I didn't know about that until later. The DJ Smith stuff. No, it's time.
Yeah, so why?
I figured that reason he was wanting me to go to Knoxville was just to set me up.
So why is Fred going to fucking remember the exact date of when Fred's down there saying that he called CPS?
All I know about tonight is what he told me.
I mean, that wasn't during the time that Fred was recording, and it wasn't something that was turned in right away because it was just Fred, or it was just Dawn talking about.
Yeah, he come 4 or 5 times that night.
Just talking about
and he even destroyed the phone he had that night, got rid of it, or that's what he said, because he was trying to get rid of mine because he thought the law enforcement heard what him talking to me about wanting me to go with him to Knoxville to negotiate a deal and stuff with him.
Okay, so
he was like, you need to get rid of your phone. I done got rid of my phone and stuff because I'm afraid they're listening to their phone conversations and stuff. I'm like, how they listen to my phone conversation? I ain't talked to you on the phone or nothing. My phone's been in the house. Because I've never spoke to Dawn on the phone.
Either way, those days are going to be harder to fucking remember when it's not around June 15th. It's just pathetic, dude. Can't freaking talk about the case without people like Michelle After Dark, like, scrutinizing every fucking little word you say and cannot wait, just like sitting there, like just hoping we mess up on something. It's really gross. I'm sure I probably said it too, like I'm sure like when I said August, that I wasn't even probably sure about it. I probably even said like I don't even in the clip, how did I say it? Like, was it actually me saying it was August?
We was just having a phone conversation with Jason Jensen, and
oh my fucking god, are you so for real right now?
That's what it's telling you. It's just a phone call.
It's our private phone call with Jason Jensen that you're fucking judging us for.
That's what the.
And we're a liar because we accidentally say to Jason Jensen in a phone call that we play for you guys.
It wasn't even me saying anything about it. It was you that said it was in August. We was just talking in general.
A troll farm with Ryan. What's the troll farm? You guys, I don't get money from here like that at all. Me talking about this has nothing to do with money. Not with anything with Ryan. I don't team up with people that I feel like don't have like integrity. When I did team up with him, I thought he was like a good person. But that even is like crazier to me. A private call between us and Jason Jensen, and this woman's judging us because we told this guy, we say August in a phone call. It's crazy.
What she was getting at, from what I understood about this, that where we said it was August, then I probably could have been off on seeing Andy on the road and this on and this. And
oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. Oh my God. Andy on the Road was on June 15th, the day that Summer went missing. That's a lot different. These people are comparing apples to oranges. So since we stated August in a phone call about when the boys were taken, then that suddenly means that, Fred could have been wrong about the date of seeing Andy on the road. You people are, I'm sorry. You guys are so pathetic. It's crazy. Let's hang this up actually. And I saw you jam out there. That is crazy to me. Okay. Oh, we could be mistaken. Fred could be mistaken about seeing Andy on the road and the stuff that you saw on June 15th because we accidentally state the boys were taken in August instead of the end of July. These people's rationale now and the way that they fucking think is broken. If they truly think like that, don't people know how the mind works when traumatic things like a child going missing? That's why they laugh so hard at fucking Andy Bernard about not remembering what you drove the day of. You don't forget, especially the day of. You don't forget that shit. The day of, especially if you're recording for police, certain things are going to be easier to remember around that date because of everything that was happening. the boys taken, that has no impact on Fred's actual life. Like, at the time, it didn't freaking impact his life. It wasn't like he didn't know John Wells like that. He didn't have that kind of connection with them for it to be a traumatic event with the boys being taken. That's not gonna stick in your brain the same as the boy, all that stuff, all the boys, or the boy and all, boys being taken by CPS and that, and the situation of Don came down there after Summer went missing several times. All of a sudden, suddenly he was over at Fred's all the time when he was never there before. So knowing the exact dates of when Don was there, and which it's going to be harder to figure out than the around the time Summer went missing, because he was down there so much, and that stuff didn't even get turned in right away. As far as like what the stuff he was saying at that time in like August, or well, I'm sorry, July, which we don't even know it was July for a fact. We were talking about when, well, I don't remember what I was talking about to Jason when I mentioned the boys being taken in August. I don't know if I was also talking about Dawn being down there or what.
That is like people that was on the road that day. They loved it. A lot of people.
My phone's about to fall.
I mean, I finally made a list of everything.
Yeah. God. That's so, like, these people can't really believe the stuff that they say.
See how many people were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Fred started making a list of all the people that are on the road that day, and that he remembers.
That's 17, not counting all the tree trimmers.
And he's got 17 people written down.
And a lot of them lived on Ben Hill Road.
Yeah.
And I counted me, Laura, Andy, I mean. And I put down whether they were seen on camera or whether they were seen by me, And most of them were seen on camera.
For he Wait, I for some reason I saw a comment by Tiffany. I don't know why these aren't showing up on my end. Michelle After Dark has been at this since the interview with Fred's sister. I saw it coming when she reviewed it. Oh, he should keep his memory sharp and remember what he can. Good for him. Well, it's just to try to keep straight exactly like oops, I don't want to end the stream. I don't know why my comments aren't showing up on here. Like they were hey crazy cat. Well, it's the one thing like that she wants to, talk about is to say, and that whole phone call with Jason Jensen, that's what she wants to fucking say. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have anything more productive to talk about than us getting wrong in a private phone call that we share with you guys. It wasn't like we're on the a court, be in a courtroom being questioned by the law. This isn't a private phone call. And when we're talking freely about the case, and I happen to mistake and say the boys, that I thought the boys were taken in August. And I'm pretty sure I was guessing. I didn't even, obviously, I didn't look up anything. It was just a private conversation. Like, it's really crazy to me that somebody can they think 2 and 2 equals 4 when they say, oh, because Fred, which it wasn't even Fred, it was me, mistook when the boys were taken in a private phone call, which has nothing to do, that is not Fred's children or nothing to do around the time Summer went missing and his experiences with recording and everything.
That's like me. I've never even talked to some period.
Well, just like they want to say, PG's new story, like that, her, like when Jody Sue just magically ends up over at PG's, right? It's like knock knock. Like it wasn't all planned for PG to be there.
You mean her to be?
Or for Jody Sue to be there, yeah. Like that wasn't planned for Jody Sue to go up on panel and them to sit there and lie like crazy surrounding Fred because Jody Sue's mad because we mentioned something about her son, in this phone call or he came up in conversation. So she decides that she should lie about Fred because, we were mentioning things about her son. And she just happens to end up over on PG. So one person that I know for a fact loves to create storylines. And now all of a sudden they want to say, oh, supposedly it's West Virginia Butterfly wants to say, oh, Candace told her that she did something to Summer and Fred helped her dispose of.
Somebody had sent something to me. I didn't watch the live or nothing, but tried to say that Candace had got rid of Summer or something, and then I helped and Chad helped.
Oh my God.
Something about he cut her off or something other, and she started to say something about cotton.
Wow, dude. All these things that PG's claims that have happened could not possibly be true. So this is true. She's saying this happened. Fred helped dispose of Summerwell's body, and oh yeah, we're supposed to believe also this story about a head in the box. Okay, it's disgusting. It's really gross. They all attack Fred because he's the only one that speaks the truth and they don't want it out there. Exactly. And do you think that we want to be in this position, or Fred wants to be in this position?
I want to talk about the Knoxville stuff real bad, but it's just going to cause a lot of issues and stuff, and law enforcement knows all about it and everything, so I'm just going to leave it up to them to do whatever.
Hey, Matthew. They're going to forgive the girl. That's really sad. Really, really sad. We just want justice for Summer. They're attacking one person. Yeah, and then they'll go around and say that, oh, I'm like, all these people say I'm like responsible for so much, me and Fred, so much misinformation in Summerwell's case, and but then they don't say specifically anything when we've tried to leave YouTube, but these people can't stop fucking talking about us, even where we're off YouTube. It's like a nightly thing. So obviously we're gonna. I mean, if it's gonna not change anything, I'm gonna be here and I'm going to, put out what I believe is actually true. These people don't actually believe this shit. Like all the stuff that PG says, she is purposely doing that, and it's gross.
I don't believe West Virginia Butterfly is the shadow person at all.
Who's Shadow?
The one that PG was playing before them. I believe it's St. Sherry. My opinion, because PG, when me and her was talking on the phone and stuff a lot before, she talked about Sherry is saying a lot of stuff to her that she's bringing up in that shadow person with conversation. Before I finally blocked them.
Yeah, and that's just Fred's opinion. Doesn't mean it's true. So, if it's.
I'm just going by
it's just,
what
we're not allowed to have opinions or just talk freely.
And it's pretty much the same thing as the shadow person would say.
So. I don't understand that thinking. I just don't get it. Like, oh, Ziggy mistakes. It says August in a private call to Jason Jensen that the boys were taken when it was really the last week of July, or pretty close to. I think it says July 23rd. It's around that date. I don't know for a fact. I'm sorry. Does that mean I'm a fucking liar all of a sudden? I guess so. So then that means because of that mistake, Fred could have mistook the date of seeing Andy on the road. Be so fucking for real right now. My God, dude. Wow. These people are desperate. Desperate. They don't care about Summer Wells. They care more about drama and making Fred and I look a certain way and clicks and views. Otherwise, they wouldn't come up with this stupid bullshit that they know doesn't even correlate, or it doesn't even make sense that you're saying that is completely different. That is not Fred's firsthand experience as far as the boys being taken. It's not his children. He wasn't, it's not going to impact him like the day that Summer went missing. I just don't understand that. Can somebody explain? I thought it was all PG playing 3 people. Her and her baby, right? Please, has there ever been a baby crying in the background at all? It's really, really gross. I hope all these people that have purposely gone around and created all this nonsense and drama in the name of Summer Wells, like on purpose. I hope it's all fucking exposed. I really do.
I think it's funny, a lot of creators that's reaching out to the new sheriff and stuff, He sees through the bullshit. And he ain't going to talk on stuff because he can't, because they're under a gag order. But I think it's going to be funny when they trying to send all kinds of stuff on me because they know better than a lot of the bullshit already.
Good. I hope he reaches out to you.
I ain't saying nothing about him reaching out to me. I just talking.
No, I'm just saying. I know, but I'm hoping that that's what it results in.
Yep.
I hope that they start
like
questioning
PG
you.
trying to say that
I really do.
they had sent me, I had received paperwork and I had lawyered up and all that.
I know, like what the
stupid as hell.
You
She was
guys
trying to get
believe
Jody,
this shit?
When Jody is up on panel, she was trying to get Jody to go along with it, you know.
Even Jody Sue wouldn't go along with it. Then that's when you know it's fucking absolute bullshit. Should have planned that, scripted that a little bit better, PG.
Saying I received paperwork, had supposed to return back to Tennessee and stuff like Dawn and stuff. And when Dawn left, said I was all lawyered up and all that.
Yeah, she says these things that are so easy to prove like wrong. I mean, he's right fucking here. Yeah, they're just letting him take his time. Hey, Paula.
I think it's funny that they reach so hard.
It's pathetic, actually, though, when you think about it. And really, it's actually pretty horrible when you really think about it and think about how it's all in the name of Summer Wells. That's what really upsets me, is that people don't think at least about Summer Wells. Okay, they don't like me or they don't like Fred, whatever, you know. But people do not think about Summer Wells when you do this stuff and what is actually really important. That whole video and Michelle After Dark, the only thing she has to fucking talk about is to try to point out. This is the one thing in that whole, how long of a call was it, guys? 2 hours? A whole 2-hour call with Jason Jensen. And all Michelle After Dark can pull out of her fucking ass is something that Jody Sue says, and it says, playing Jody Sue saying, oh, well, Fred could have got other things wrong because Ziggy says the boys were taken in August and not July. Please. I didn't even know what people were talking about when they sent this to me. People who ridicule others over minor errors like missing punctuation or incorrect dates are often driven by a desire to assert intellectual superiority, perfectionism, or underlying insecurity. Fred has literally not changed a thing. Their grasping at straws is pathetic. Hey, Bella. I figured that does sound like, I mean, it sounds true to me. It makes them feel like they don't want, they're so worried about Fred being like we think that Fred's so important to this case or something, you know? Like they're afraid that he's going to be important to the case. And, you know, just because I have stated that I believe his like recordings, yeah, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter who it was. It could have been anybody who recorded. But that's going to be really fucking important to Summer Wells' case. The recordings from the 15th, 16th, and 17th. I'm sorry. You can't. I know you people, for some reason, are so mad. For some reason, that Fred recorded for police, and you want to act like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's nothing. Fred's not. It's like, oh my, like these people so bad want to like act like Fred, and who cares? Like, nobody's saying, I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh, Fred's, just everything and just no, that's not what I'm saying. Why can't we all fucking come to work together and putting these puzzle pieces together? No, these people are too worried, like, fighting me about Fred recording for police and him seeing Andy on the road on June 15th when they know this fucking shit's true. There's no way there's no fucking way. Like, how many times have I showed, like, me talking, emailing law enforcement about it? Calls with law enforcement about me talking about Andy on the road and Fred recording. Oh, right, yeah. We're just making it completely up, dude. Yep, you got us. We're making it up. Never fucking happened. Fred's whole experience, 15, 16, 17, just completely made up. Yep, you got us. Guilty. I'm guilty as accused. I'm guilty of lying. Like, that's what they want to believe so bad. Every single experience Fred has, they had those dates around the time they want to fucking say is a lie. Like, literally every single thing. Fred recording for police. Fred seeing Andy on the road. Fred seeing Summer in a pool a few weeks before she goes missing with a boy that looked like Damien. Help me, guys. Every single thing they want to fucking say is complete just lies.
That's like a new sheriff and his theory, I don't know what his theory is. And if people really pay attention to the news thing he done, talking and stuff, they'll understand what his theory is.
What does he think?
I ain't gonna say his theory, but I don't know.
Well, I imagine it's has something to do with drugs, or because. So I'm glad because he has a real, huh?
Notice he said different places, Atlanta and Knoxville too.
Yeah, it's weird that he did bring up Atlanta and Knoxville. Exactly. It doesn't.
We talked about Knoxville too, about 2 years prior to the interview.
Paul, they're mad because they think these people want to be important so bad, and I guess they wish that they're the ones that recorded. I don't understand why. Who would ever want to be in this fucking position that me and Fred are in? Are you serious right now? That's why I say, when I say there's not very many people I can't think of anybody who would rather have this case solved. That's why I say it. Because I'm tired of this fucking bullshit, dude.
Because if that wasn't his theory, why would they have me to go and try to record Dawn about certain things and stuff or surrounding drugs?
Yeah.
And that was his group that was trying to get me to do that, asking me to do that.
Yeah, brother egos, exactly. Yeah, I wish, I seriously, that's why it's not that we think that we're important or anything like that at all. I don't at all. I just, I know, all I say is I think that Fred recording and his experiences and things he saw, yeah, I do think it's just super important to Summer Wells. And these people, like, other ones, I'm not going to say their names, like, they have straight up, they'll argue, oh, it's not important, because they're so fucking bitter, dude. They're so bitter that they fucking want to act like Fred's lied about the pool. Fred's lied about recording completely. Did not happen. He just fucking made that shit up. Like, why are they so? That is so crazy to me. Yeah, we just really want to be in this fucking position right now. Yeah. That's why I've been, so passionate for so long. Is it's not because nobody's going to be as passionate as I have been over how many years over a fucking lie. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because look at these people. These people lie. PG lies every fucking night of her life, and she'll sit there yelling at the top of her lungs as if she's really believes in what she's saying, while using the Lord's name in vain and saying GD, cussing in the same sentence. They're not for someone there for money. Yep. It's every call for wasn't the only person asked to record it. Yeah, supposedly they asked. Yeah, they asked. Whatever his name is, David Britt, I think is his name.
Yeah, they asked him to record too, but he denied. I don't know exactly who else they asked.
And maybe they did ask Fred for. I mean, who knows?
But that's what David Britt told me. So law enforcement did tell me. David Britt said that they came to him and asked.
Maybe they did want to see what Fred would say at the time, and well, he said it was only like within an hour of him, like hour or two of him getting back that night. They're already asking him to record. I feel like these people, I mean, what you wish that Fred didn't record anybody on the 15th, 16th, 17th? You wish that law enforcement didn't have these recordings? I'm sure some of you fucking do. Because some of the people who are out here are purposely like causing confusion to have for fucking years, like Jody Sue, for something bigger than what than what we're seeing firsthand. There's an ulterior motive. There's a purpose behind some of these people and why they're doing things. Why do you think PG stays anonymous? Dude, she was so scared when she first started coming up on my panel. She was so afraid of people knowing who she was. But she judges people so fucking bad in their lives and says the worst horrible lies about Fred night after night.
And she's not very good to do for some reason. And it ain't just for protection from YouTube. In a way it is, because the people really knew who she was, it probably shocked everybody.
I'm reading the chat. Am I missing some of it? You don't get to choose your cross. You're across the bear. This is Fred's cross the bear, and you're suffering with him as his wife. Pray and ask Jesus to help you through this. Yeah. She's her sock money, so she needs those ones in the chat. Her amens to how many times she says the Lord's name in vain. For some reason, my chat's not loading on my device that I'm recording like live on. It's storming like crazy outside.
It's supposed to be this for a while.
Yeah. I don't know why why they think that Fred would want to put him, be in this position you know what? It would be easier to just be like, oh, yeah, it's a whole lie. He didn't record. See you later. Never coming back to YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit would be easier than fucking just telling the truth. And everything we've gone through, dude. I don't know. I guess I never realized how. I never would imagine here we would be 5 years fucking later and in the same position. I don't even know, like, I had no idea really what I was fucking getting myself into when I first started on YouTube and all this. I really didn't. That's why I say, uh, I'm never going to fucking get involved in another case. But I'm sure as hell not gonna just let people. When I know Fred's being honest and telling the truth, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty passionate about it because it's bullshit. It's really fucking bullshit. How people are turning things around, and I think that we should take Chris McDonough up on that offer to do some content with him. I think we fucking should. Fred knows more than he's telling. I've asked the Wells. What is it that he knows more? Since you know, Jenny, you tell us. You tell us specifically what he knows. Okay, tell us what he fucking knows, since you know. Because because here we are every fucking day of our lives, like racking our brains, and frustrated as hell to be in this fucking position. Don't you think if he knew anything, how you know how many times Fred has turned in information and been like face to face with law enforcement and them taking it fucking very seriously? Like, what else could there possibly be? I just think he knows more about what terrible parents the Wells are.
I did call CPS on them way before Summer is even born. When the boys was in the basement by themselves and nobody came to the door. I called the CPS on them then. And the only other time that I've witnessed anything, Candace hit one of the boys with a stick because they took it and hit one of the dogs with it or something. Especially I
don't know how much they're
across the back, and she took it away from it and hit the middle-aged boy across the back with it. That's the only thing I've ever seen happen with it.
How many times have you seen the boys and stuff and the parents with the boys like together? How many times have you even witnessed that?
Being around them?
Yeah, like.
Hell, very, very few times. I've never even talked to the kids, the boys or Summer.
He's never even like hung out with them.
Had a conversation with them.
Done drugs with them, party with them. Like, how would he witness a lot of this stuff? He lived far down the holler too. You got to remember that. Don was at the first house. Fred's almost all the way at the end of the last house. The community locals are aware, hence the numerous CPS reports. Tim Nader said, so you live close to there, Tiffany? She says, yes, we, the community and locals, are all aware, hence the numerous CPS reports. Yeah, and thank you for if you guys if to those who did, try to help Summer or the children and call in what they saw, instead
Well,
of
when I called about the boys being in the basement, that was way before summer ever was born. They was just little because they just had diapers on at that time. Be cold up in the winter.
and what
Snow
difference does
on.
that make? We all know what crap parents they were where they got
What the DCS done, I don't know. You know,
Jennifer says, what a weird thing to say that you asked the Wells, Jenny. How would the Wells know what Fred is holding back? Why don't the Wells speak about it? Or is it that the Wells have more to hide? Yeah, that is weird. So the parents that you think are responsible for something to do with Summer Wells, um, you're gonna believe something that they say that somehow Fred would know something. I promise you, anything that could possibly, like, we could possibly think of, or that he could possibly think of as his experience. But we talk about this freaking every day. I wish that there was something that he knew that could help more with the, investigation. And down the line, I hope if there is anything, I hope that Scott Stewart reaches out if, um, I really, really fucking do. That would be amazing. You know who reported the red truck? Oh, really? I'm trying to remember. I think Jody's. Yeah, Jody Sue. Now that's one that definitely knows more. That'd be more likely person that would know more than Fred would know as far as how the boys and kids were treated because she was closer vicinity, and for some reason, I I don't know how often Tracy was up there, but I'm pretty sure that Andy was up there pretty regularly for business. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean, he's even stated it himself. Fred's never sold anything to the Wells. Never did drugs with them.
the only one I've ever sold anything to on Being Hill Road was David Bates. That's the only person I've done any kind of business on Being Hill Road with.
So that's the people who knows more of the Wells would be the neighbors who were actually closer to the village. We all know who those neighbors are. Not all neighbors hang out. Um, what does Fred think happened this summer? Oh gosh, I don't know if you do. You even have really a real like set theory? I mean, I think it changes.
I mean, there's just sunset or the dismiss. I mean, but a lot of it's hearsay, you know. So it's like,
Yeah, you don't know who to freaking believe. From his own experience, like he would have.
I mean, law enforcement when they wanted me to report, they was for sure doing it owed somebody. That's what they was real concerned about from day one. And once I got to Knoxville and all that information come out, that made it even more believable, you know, because I didn't know much about Andy and Dawn's situation down there in Knoxville. I know Dawn would go to Knoxville, but I didn't know details like I was told, but certainly.
Yeah, that whole situation with this DJ thing was weird too. And Fred, that guy knew it was getting fucking turned in.
Because
Which
he
we
was
have the paper here of when they dipped Fred's phone. I've showed
He
that,
was
by the way.
mainly wanting reward money is the reason he was talking. And he knew that everything was going to be turned into the TBI. He's made aware of that because he knew that he couldn't nothing be collected unless it was turned in and she was apprehended, you know. I made him fully aware that their conversations was going to be turned into TBI.
No, I don't have any filter on chat right now. Does Fred think Dawn and Candace could harm her? I mean, from your experience, I don't know. You know, well, he saw Candace like.
Seen Candace hit the middle boy with that stick at once, but other than that, I mean, I never really seen Dawn around them much. I mean, I would never thought there was any SA or anything like that going on up there. I mean, just by living right there in the holler at all. I mean, I know they had that trailer set up when they first came to Tennessee, him and Pam and stuff. But as far as the kids, I wouldn't have thought anything like that was going on with her.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff like we talk about is just also or especially him, because for me, yeah, everything mine is just it's not my firsthand experience, but like certain things like he didn't witness himself. We've just.
I mean, I wasn't around them enough to really notice anything. I mean, from time Dawn and them moved in down there and stuff, up till about time Summer went missing, maybe run into them 15 times or something and talked to them.
Yeah, so the only thing that you would have or would have witnessed yourself that was very suspicious. Yeah, would have been that was even before the kids were born, right?
What?
When that whole trailer was set up.
That was when him and Pam first come to Tennessee first.
I wonder if it was a joke. You think that whole thing was a joke?
No,
because who would be ballsy?
There were certain ones from around the creek that was running down there talking about it.
Nuh-uh.
No.
So Fred would hear about, that whole incident where that preacher shut down him, selling sex acts at the trailer or whatever that was at the bottom property. There was a preacher who had that shut down, but Fred, did see that, witness that, like, there being a sign out there and everything on a plywood. And then, did you notice it did you notice it because it was that noticeable, or did you get
it? Was that noticeable? Yeah, it was on his road, 4-8 sheet plywood set up.
That's so crazy.
I mean, with everything listed down it with the price.
That is insane. Like, how do they get away with that?
I don't know. The law enforcement, you had thought, would have shut it down pretty quick. But I know the sign was up for, I don't know, a while before Orville got it shut down.
He doesn't realize that the shadow person that said "see you in life summer," and next day PG will throw shade on Fred. PG doesn't realize that shadow person said "see you in life summer," and next day. Oh well, she wanted to add in that, of course, Fred helped.
They're talking about a different person. They did the shadow person whispered to verbalize what people are trying to say.
Oh. Did the Wells kids play on Ben Hill Road?
I've seen them time to time on Ben Hill Road riding their motorcycles.
Would they come all the way down to the end of the holler?
Not unless Dawn was with them or Candace. Sometimes Candace would be on a little bitty mini bike thing, ride with them. But Don, when you see them down that way, Don would always be on that great big bike. Usually with Summer, if they was riding with Don, Don always had Summer on the bike with him. Usually to be
Like on his lap?
yeah, sitting in front. But the boys, you would see them time to time from like Simpson Lane back to their driveway right there. But usually Dawn or Candace
That
was
you would have had to have seen them when you were driving, like
yeah, just
leaving.
traveling in and out.
Um,
But you wouldn't see them that often down there. I mean, I might have seen them playing on the road 3 or 4 times like that by themselves. But usually Dawn or Candace was at the bottom. Usually Candace was at the bottom by herself. Usually when they was riding by the up and down by themselves. Most time if they was out riding with Dawn, I mean, if on up a holler, that's by my place.
so, guys, who do you think out of all the people will ever apologize to Fred when it comes out that he was telling the truth? Do you think Michelle After Dark will come out and apologize? I know, but I'm just saying, like, oh, I know. At this point, like, their apologies wouldn't mean fucking jack shit after years and years of it. Hey, Michelle. Tracy said in her Origins Live 3 years ago that they most definitely wasn't on the roadway. Oh, what she tried to say that the kids wouldn't be out there. Well, like Fred was saying, like he would usually the Don or Candace would be with them.
I mean, I've heard people talk about them being on the road more than I've actually seen. I've seen them 3, maybe 4 times down there over the year, the whole time they lived there.
Yeah, so we're talking only a few
But
times.
there'd be somebody may come to the house or something and talk about the kids riding on the dirt bikes or whatever on the road down there, acting stupid or something. I was trying to think who it was that was talking about them cutting around in front of them and stuff. Like on the, they was waiting for some of them. Just talking about the boys going around them and stuff, and them traveling on the road in the hog, cutting around in front of them and stuff. I was trying to think who it was. And they talked about that.
Little town, know very little of the Wells other than the sign that Fred is absolutely telling the truth about and where he's. Did you ever witness that? Did you ever hear that from anybody too, Tiffany? Like about? Did you hear rumors about that happen? About the whole situation about selling sex acts and stuff. Of course, this would have been before the kids were born. So we're not trying to say any type of like children thing anything. These were adults, but still did you hear that too? The whole town knew.
I was trying to think if when Jeff Everly seen Dawn sitting in the middle of the road down there, drunk as hell one night when he come in. I was trying to think if it was before someone went missing or after someone went missing. Because he said he had to physically get out and leave him out of the road so they can come on in. Said he was sitting in front of his driveway in the center of the Ben Hill Road, drunk as hell.
What the fuck?
Jeff Everett talked about that, but I can't remember if it was
See,
the
look.
first time around.
Look, this woman who's a local said that she heard about that too, about the sex acts being sold there. She said, yes, it was talked about that sex acts for sale, yes, years prior, and wondering why law enforcement never did anything. But sheriff is dirty, is what she said. So yeah, I mean, like that's straight up out there for people to see. I mean, it's literally a crime. So why is something like that going on? Like,
yes, I remember it was a cream and brown trailer that they had filled up over there somewhere.
so it wasn't even. So what? That whole building wasn't there. That's there now.
Can't really remember if that building. I don't think that shed was actually there when that trailer was first put in.
Now he's just guessing. He doesn't. It's been a while, so don't call him a liar if it was actually
I'm pretty
there.
sure it wasn't. Seemed like they built that shed after they took and tore that trailer down.
She said, "I can't think of an older man's name."
Tore the trailer down there, or seemed like they moved it up where that bus was sitting, and then finally tore it down once or something.
So Tiffany says, I cannot think of the older man's name. He was a preacher in Beach Creek, and he reported it, and it was open that he did, and it was awful. Yeah, she said it was open like a known, like people knew about him trying to get shut down. Yeah, Orville Dolan, but he's deceased now.
He was the best person in that community down there. There's nobody in that community can say anything bad about the road. So he used to be a road commissioner in Sullivan County too. I think he was road commissioner, something about the roads in Sullivan County. I won't think road commissioner, but I might be wrong. I know it was something to do with the road stuff in Sullivan County.
Yeah, you've always talked highly of him. Yeah. Yes, this would be quite a while before Summer would have been even born that the sign was reported. And she said, yes, that's him. Fred is right. I could not remember his name.
See, he lived out on Ridge Road. I think it's Ridge Road. Everybody down in that way called it Dogtown.
Thank you for confirming that, Tiffany. You know, because.
And his church, he preached that was the same church that deer I raised would go to every Sunday.
Yeah, you had that. How did you come across that deer?
I ran on it 4-wheeler one night.
And it started coming around because you were feeding it?
No, mommy deer left it behind. She actually had 3. It was weak, it couldn't get up or nothing.
Aww.
I just happened to see it one night.
Oh, it was by itself just sitting there?
Yeah, it couldn't even get up or nothing.
That's sad.
They couldn't get up for almost a week.
So you took it under your wing?
Aggravating fucker. Aggravate.
Why?
They just are. Can't have nothing for them outside, sell like dishes, nothing. They want to power at them, rare it, power on them and stuff. We had a lot of complaints out towards where at church was you go to on Sundays, tearing people's stuff up.
What bandit? You would have to go down there and get him, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Come get your deer, Fred.
And then they ended up getting shot finally.
Oh, that's sad.
They shot him walking back from church down, what was it, Old Blair's Girl?
That's horrible.
Shot at him 8 times before they actually killed him, what I was told. They tried to say they didn't know that he was a tame deer. I mean, you shooting at one that keeps walking towards you. You look yours on.
That's sad.
But I mean, you open the back door on your vehicle, he could get in, just lay down in the seat just like a dog.
Did he have a big rack on him? Is that why they shot him or what? Because I thought
He was a small 8 when they killed him.
If local people would chime in and pay attention, they could confirm a lot of what Fred has stated. Yeah, but there's too many locals that are part of some kind of, for some reason, there's a lot of them like that hang out in certain chats, and they sit there and spread straight up misinformation. And one of them being Bill Shipley is part, and he's part of that whole group, who are trying to discredit Fred and make him a liar because they feel like Fred has exposed them when Fred has literally just came out and, people ask questions and their names have come up, or they'll come out and say a bunch of lies about Fred, and Fred will, come out and tell actually the truth. It's not his fault that their names fucking come up. But there's several of them from that area who are grouped together who are on here and teamed up with certain creators to try to discredit Fred. It's really sad, dude. It's really fucking sad. Yes, in that Beach Creek community, most people in town don't go to the creek. Heck, Fred can tell you that. She was saying that in the community that most people in town don't go to the creek. And she was saying that you could confirm that.
I mean, a lot of the old heads has passed away. I mean, it used to be a rough area to be, after dark and stuff. But most of the old people's passed away and stuff, and now it's just mostly just young wannabe thugs lives in that area. I say they better clean their act up.
They think they're getting 15 minutes of fame realistically being made to look ignorant. Oh, they look so bad when the actual truth comes out. A lot of these people. Someday, can Fred tell us the names of all the suspicious deaths? I've been keeping a list, but I'm missing some. Can you? Beach Creek isn't what it used to be. Fred's exactly right.
No, it ain't nothing like it used to be. I mean, it was a rough community, but it was a well-respected community at that time.
Somebody was asking if you could tell all the suspicious deaths. Well,
Suspicious deaths?
In the area, like all the deaths in the area. I mean,
I believe a lot of it's drug related.
It's hard to know.
More than it is anything to do with something, in my opinion.
There's
a lot of them. This age is a lot of it. Too. A lot of deaths is because of their age. Just getting old and passing on. A lot of them.
Let's see.
A lot of health issues.
Earl Taylor. Which that wasn't even Beach Creek though, really.
No, that was what, five or six, what was it, within a month?
David Bays, Clifford Compton,
Biscuit Moore,
Lawson. Didn't Lawson pass? Mike Lawson or something? Or Red Lawson?
Red Lawson died in prison. He took that. Oh, did you say?
Who was it that got released and like just a couple years ago and then they died soon after being released?
James got out and he passed away as soon as he got out. Then Alan Swacker, he was the last one that got out, and he passed away of a heart attack. I don't know, it wasn't too long after he got out. He was one of them. Justin Church, though, he ended up accident at work, reason he passed away, and that was Alan's. I think he still lived beside Alan Swacker at the time, because he passed away. Justin Church passed away, and then Alan Swacker within a couple of days, and then I think.
Let's see, we got Rick Crawford Sr.
Within a month.
Rick Crawford Sr. passed away. I guess you could say Cotton Simpson in a way, but I really think that they're under the impression that they ruled that as an accident.
I don't know what they really does.
That's what they. I mean,
That's what I.
They never said anything differently. It's just YouTube that comes up with the freaking bullshit. Earl Taylor, that passed right after Summer's disappearance, is now being pushed by his sister as foul play. That's crazy because when I tried to talk about it on YouTube, how I thought that was the weirdest thing, like because of his connections, the people that he was tied to, I found his death really suspicious. But when I did, there was so many of his family that did not want anything talked about it. It was weird. And so I was like, well, I guess, I better respect the family because they don't want anybody talking about it. I didn't understand why. They tried to say it was an accident. He was married but dating another girl. He was sadly very bad on drugs with Crawford. Yes. Exactly. That's why I thought it was so weird because he was married to Calesta Taylor or whatever, however we say her name, but they were supposedly separated, and she was with Rick Crawford Jr.
Yeah, Ricky Crawford Jr.
But I mean, at the same time, I think that they had been seeing each other for a while, though, too.
I think so.
So it wasn't like it was something new. I mean, to be fair, I think, but like when he died, where was it that there was something about where their living situation that was weird.
I think from my understanding on that, Bill Dennis, they're looking for him to be questioned over Earl.
See, there's two. It always gets confusing though because there's two different Earl Taylors, isn't there? I get confused because he started. Yeah, she was with Ricky Jr. Still seeing Earl. That was happening for 8+ years. Yep. His sister told me she believed he was murdered. Wow. That's crazy, see? Like, I was wondering about that too. But I don't know if it was his sister or I don't know who it was. But there was people who were not wanting me to talk about Earl Taylor. I was under the impression at the time that family didn't want it out on YouTube. I didn't understand that. I don't know. Like, and they were like, well, it was an accident. He was bad on the drugs, and
Yeah, I hadn't seen Earl and his hack whatever. I don't know if they're full brothers or what. Since
oh, Earl Taylor's a junior. Okay. He lived with a girl in Bailington. Bailington. That's interesting to me because that's right where isn't Paul Hills Bailington? Like on the way to Bailington?
yeah.
I mean, could be just not a coincidence on that. But it's weird.
No, I didn't know where he lived
And
at. Last time I seen him, they was still living with his mom.
And Don B had put out, or had said that they were supposedly looking into Paul since the beginning, according to Frank Hill, that they questioned Paul soon after Summer Wells went missing, and that's on the way to Bailington, right? And on the 14th, Jody Sue and Andy Bernard went out there looking for Jackie Dobbs
at Motel 36
at Bailington because they tried to, I don't know, understand this, dude. I don't understand why they got so obsessed with Jackie Dobbs. That is so weird to me. They got so obsessive over that. That is so suspicious. What the fuck was actually going on? They're so bothered by it. They go looking for Jackie Dobbs the 14th, but yet, what doesn't make sense is Andy Bernard supposedly had his phone number. I don't understand.
Yeah, it didn't make sense why Andy would have his phone number if they was running him out from the property and stuff, and felt so suspicious of him. Why would they have a number to communicate with each other?
Yeah, and
That
then
don't make sense.
And then on recording, you got Andy talking about how he had stopped by and saw Frank Hill working on a Jeep on the 14th when he was out driving around or driving and looking for Jackie Dobbs.
He said he seen Frankie when he went to Bailington.
So it's odd that Andy Bernard.
He didn't stop until they come back from Bailington. But he just stopped there to tell Frank if he needed any Jeep parts he had some. I mean, that's what he was talked about.
I know. It's just weird though that now, hearing Paul's name coming up in that search 6 months ago, it just so happens to be a property that Andy Bernard was at the day before Summer Wells went missing and brought up in conversation. That's strange. Very strange. And Jody Sue said if she had to guess, she thinks Summer's in Bailington.
There's one video she made talked about 7 minutes from the first road going that way,
He was just over that way often to go over to Crawford's for rugs. Yes, he was just over that way often to go to the Crawford's for rugs. That was what his sister said. Earl's mother died, and the same day his father died, and they had a joint funeral. It was sad. Earl and his sister lost everything they had in one day, so of course his issues with rugs. So, was Earl adopted? I'm confused by this because that's what I'm wondering about. So his parents that passed away, though, if
it's the same Earl that I talked about, he lived with Linda
This is so weird because when I talked to Linda P, which is a woman that came up because she was Crystal Spencer's mother, adopted mother, and she came. And anyways, I had spoke with her, and she kept referring to Earl as her son, and I was so fucking confused.
You know, she adopted all them youngers from different families.
So was Earl? Was this the same? That's why I get so confused. Like, if Fred talks about it too, like Linda P having a son, I'm like, wait, like, how is this two different Earls or?
Well, the one she had was adopted.
I mean, I know some people though. I mean, that they are adopted, but they still have relationships with their biological parents. So I didn't know if the Tiffinator knew anything about that. Jackie Dobbs is related to Andy. Really? Are you sure? Where did Josie go get food the night of the 15th? I don't know. Do you know?
I don't know if they are or
No.
not.
Whoa. Where did Jody Sue go get food on the 15th? Do you know?
I didn't even know they had left the holler. They had to leave after I took them recorded and stuff.
My phone's about. I don't have very much. Like, do you have a charger? Oh wait, you don't have a charger that would work for like a portable one. I know you have one for your phone.
You can plug this in. What do you need, Ziggy?
iPhone charger, like a portable. How you do it? I don't. So do you know anything about that, Tiffinator, about Earl Taylor? Like, I'm so confused because, and Fred swears this Earl Taylor is Linda P's. I'm and was adopted, and when I talked to Linda, she said the same thing too. And I know she has brain damage and stuff, but I'm like, surely I'm just confused. Yeah, I was asking if you know that if Earl Taylor, if he, oh, thanks. No, damn it. Oh, do you know if Earl Taylor was adopted? There we go. Because do you know who Linda P is, Tiffinator? Yeah, she used to own Beach Creek Market, and she adopted a bunch of kids, including Crystal Spencer was one of them. Well, when I talked to her, she talked about Earl like he was her son. And Fred remembered also the same thing, like said the same type of thing, remembered, and like I was just really confused because is there two Earl Taylors or here, I'm gonna show you guys. Do you know if Earl was adopted? Dang, how am I gonna? I'm pretty sure. So she said, I'm pretty sure that Earl is Earl Taylor Jr.'s biological son. Did he raise him? did he raise them though? Because was Earl adopted by? Linda P kept telling me that, and she talked about how her son was. She felt like somebody did it, like somebody, and I'm just so confused by that. I'm like, there's got to be two Earls or something.
I know that.
Do you know who Linda P is?
I don't know if it was his real dad or his grandfather and mother lived in Baileyton, out past Baileyton out there. I was trying to think what street it was when they owned that storage stuff.
So I'm just trying to understand if it's if it's two different Earls, if because Fred and Linda P both say something about this Earl that I'm. The Earl had a mother named Mitty Taylor and the father named Earl Taylor. See, I always thought that who Fred was talking about was a different Earl too, but then I talked to Linda and what was weird about our phone call, I'll have to find that phone call. I don't think I ever really shared it, but what was weird about it is that didn't she didn't seem to know, like she was very vague and what she didn't really know much about him, and she would act like she'd be like, oh, like
she had that bad head trauma and stuff that wreck and that horse accident she was in. So it was hard to tell what she was talking about.
his mother passed away. His father was in the living room when she passed. And he said, I will not live a day without your mother. Aw, he went to bed and his sister went to check on him and he was gone. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Well, it was weird because Linda P, she was acting like suspicious about her, who she said was her Earl's death, and she actually was blaming Bill, like bitten about something that happened to her herself, like I think a car wreck.
Yeah, but he took it and run. Supposedly that's what happened to Earl, her adopted son.
Yeah, there's got to be.
Because of Bill, he confronted Bill about that. And that's when Bill talked about things going south and stuff. Whether it's the same.
Hey, pretty sweet pea.
Earl, I don't know. But I was under the impression the way Bill talked at it, they run into each other at McPeter's Bend boat ramp. Wherever they're saying that, what Bill told me.
Yeah, I'm just confused.
Because Bill, Linda had on and stuff up there before you, well, 3/4 of a mile from Bean Hill Road. Before you get to Hawkins State County line in that curve. And he took off. Well, somebody took him out of the area.
It's probably too loud out here. It's probably really hard to hear you. It's quite loud. Yeah, well, it's hard for. I that's just a mystery if there's two Earls or and they both would have had to pass away because if there is, because she was talking about. Do you know who Linda P is? Earl stayed with a lot of people over the years due to struggles with drugs. I'm not sure about Linda. I'm trying. Oh.
Linda was originally
She used to own Beach Creek Market. She was the owner of Beach Creek Market. She married a guy named Rick Hill, actually, I think, right?
She ain't up married a guy named Rick Hill. Then when she took and married Rick, before they got married and stuff, she had sold the store and stuff in the house that she had on Beach Creek across from the store, and they moved to Webster Valley. And then her and Rick got married. And then they found Rick slumped over the steering wheel in Greene County, I think it was. Yeah.
Well, technically, there's two. The Earl that you're talking about, do you remember him? Did you ever meet him?
When he was younger. I hadn't seen him since he was with Linda. Still living with Linda.
She said, well, technically, there's two Earls, Earl Sr. and Jr. He was around the Crawfords a lot and is by marriage related to the Crawfords. Yeah, I do.
Hadn't seen him in years.
I do remember that. Yeah, that.
He was still probably a teenager when I've seen him. Was 17 or something.
So the one, okay, so how did Earl, his dad pass? Did he, when you said he just went to sleep and he found him, did he, you know what? I know of a story like very, very similar to that. My ex, Jim, had had friends that were like an older couple, and the wife like passed away, from something. I don't know. It was something. They were older. I swear, within 24 hours, the husband was dead from a heart attack. Had been together like for freaking years, over 40 years, like for years, and then they die within 24 hours of each other. It was the craziest shit.
I guess the last time I seen them boys was probably about the time that Linda and Kenneth Sensabaugh was dating. Because the boys favored Kenneth more than they did her at that time. That's been a long time ago.
His mother passed of long-term sickness. His father was very bad in health. Mother in 70s, father in 80s. They had been together all their lives. Wow. Isn't that crazy how that happens? That's insane how that stuff happens. Let me see here. What's the... Let's look at the... Oh my gosh, dude. It's gonna be storming all night long, guys. It's not gonna stop until maybe at 9 we'll get a break. And then tomorrow, let's see. Yeah, there's storms tomorrow. That is crazy. The mother died in the home, and the father told his daughter, Earl's sister, that he would not live another day without her. He passed in bed, and they had a combined funeral. That's crazy. Did he take anything, or did he just pass because of the heartache? I hear of that stuff happening. There's also some CDs if you want some. I'm gonna have to go get course, being that Fred already had rug issues, it sent him into worse spiral. His sister did not trust nor like the girlfriend. She had set him up numerous times to be arrested right after. Wow. See, that's what I was suspicious about because I'm like, those people.
I was trying to think Crystal Spencer's sister's name.
Was it adopted sister? Oh no, it was her real sister, wasn't it?
So her real sister.
They were both adopted by Linda, weren't they?
Yeah, and then the two boys was adopted by a different. She adopted them from a different family, supposedly, if it's the same people. Because I was trying to think if it was the same wagon train that Paul tried to cut me on and stuff. That her daughter, Crystal's sister, something other. Somebody tried something with her over there and stuff, and they caught him, and tied him up and stuff to a log up her.
Wow. He simply went to sleep because his daughter was so scared when he said that because his heart was weak. He had just come from a heart surgery when he was turned down for it. That wow. But see, at the beginning, I was so focused at that time when I was looking into Earl's death. I found it weird, who he was surrounded by, and found it really suspicious because those names, like, of course, a lot of people were looking into Marlena at the time and stuff, and her brother is obviously Ricky, and they're always together. But anyways, from what I've heard, they're together a lot. But anyways, all I'm saying is I was looking into those people, and it was because they were it was rumored. Like, even Chad Arnold told Fred that Marlena wasn't dropped off till the day of, the morning of the 15th.
That's what he told me. 7 something
So, and it was
like
just suspicious that other people.
Because I didn't know nothing about Marlena even staying there, being around the Wells until Chad said something about it. Was talking about they dropped Grandis come and brought her and dropped her off that morning at the 15th around 7:30 in the driveway. Her and German.
He was connected to the Crawfords and by marriage related as well. And competition.
That's what I was told. Whether there's any truth to it, I don't know. I was just told that. But I didn't know nothing about them even being down there. I got shocked, because I was trying to figure out.
Becca's supposed to be Andy.
Judy seems like Marlena has been staying there a lot with the Wells, so I don't know. I'm just going by what Chad told me, which is hearsay.
So.
Did he even know what she was there or not? I know Dawn and Judy still had stuff in the past.
He was connected to Crawford's by marriage related as well. Caught my attention when it happened too, right after summer. Yeah, because similar people are tied to both Summer Wells and Earl Taylor in a way. I mean, so funny. Like, why aren't people more focused on people like the people that were actually right there around Summer, around the time she went missing? It's just so funny how people want to focus on Fred so much. But we're not going to focus on, it's been said that Marlena was dropped off the morning of Summer's disappearance. And it's also weird too, like she, her with that birth certificate bullshit that she was up to.
See, that boy in jail was one that's how I found out about the birth certificates. I didn't even know nothing about the birth certificates.
Yeah, because this was a guy that used to date Marlena, right? Or
he said he was at Marlena's house when her dad passed away in the bathroom. What he was doing there, I don't know. I don't know if they was dating or whatnot.
And he claimed that Marlena had a bunch of birth certificates.
I know that he did talk to law enforcement while he was in jail.
He talked to him about it while he was in jail.
He said it did.
Wasn't he trying to get his time cut? Wasn't he?
Yeah. He went in on a simple possession charge, which is 30 days, and he was trying to do something with that. Thought he'd get out of that for it. And see, he lived on Highway 70 down there, right next to the jail. Well, it makes sense how did they really know each other, really, or whatever? Because when they released him, he walked home. He was within 3 miles of the jail on 70, from what he said. And see, what was funny too, the one that he shared a cell with was the same one that Ricky Crawford got busted with them guns and stuff. You know, one that Ricky got arrested with and stuff,
yeah,
in church jail with them guns and stuff.
Yeah, he got in trouble with drugs.
The same boy that turned that information in was in the same cell with that guy. I'm trying to think of his name.
Earl's sister told me over a decade ago you couldn't trust Marlena. I don't know her, so that's hearsay, but that's not the only time I've heard that or known being a small town with same drug connects. Yep.
Who was taking care of their kids? Classes and Earl's.
Who? Who took care of Earl's kids
and Classes?
Do you know who had that custody of them?
Because she always, when I was around them out on Light Holler, she was complaining about not being able to get to see them and stuff. They won't let her see them.
Yeah, Sean Williams. All of those people dealt in roads with one another and are related by blood or marriage, and that were connected. Crawfords and Earls. That's a lot of connections. Of course. So this was strange how. Aww.
I give you by myself.
Well, Athena's watching. We can't give favoritism. You have to treat
think they get favoritism.
You can't favorite one over the other. So that's how the kids with her family. Her and Earl were on and off while she was with Ricky, which was marriage by Earl's cousin. Yeah. It did seem I remember that it was quite the mess. It sounded like it. And that's why it got my attention even more, because I'm like, was there some kind of bad blood between Ricky and Earl? But I guess there really wasn't, because this was something that had been going on for a while, or they were used to it, or what?
Did Ricky go to jail for stealing the tractor or something off of him? I think that's what he ended up going to jail and stuff for. That red tractor, I think, belonged to him.
To Earl? Ricky and Earl would be doing rugs together one day, and then the next fight over Celeste.
That sounds like
Ziggy's the weirdest of them all. I wanna. You're probably right, Roxy. Coming in and as these people.
Kid by another woman, a woman, and Bobby Dox's brother kid by her too, and somebody else has got a kid by her that all hung in that same group.
Attention, emergency situation has been detected in the building. Proceed to the nearest exit and leave the building. Do not re-enter the building until directed to by the proper authorities. Okay, we'll do that. There you go. I'll help you out. Oh, somebody, I don't know, just some kind of weird name in a different language.
My hearing's so
5
bad,
minutes.
I can hardly hear you unless I got my earbuds in listening to the thing.
Alright, guys. Didn't expect to be on this long, but I just wanted to say that it's a bunch of bullshit that just because I ended here with the same thing that I started, me saying that the boys in a private call with Jason Jensen, that the boys were taken in August instead of July, which by the way was the end of July when they were taken, does not automatically equal that Fred is a liar and could have got wrong about Andy Bernard being on the road on the 15th. And it's interesting too, Fred a liar too. Like, Michelle After Dark didn't just act like, oh, we could have got something wrong. She literally put a liar in the title because we got the date of the because I did. Automatically Fred's a liar because I said the boys were taken in August. Please make this make sense to me. How does that equate Fred being a liar? It couldn't be that, oh, I just accidentally mistook something. Nothing. No, just what a bitch, dude. Like, for real. Like, seriously, do these people not think about Summer Wells at all? Makes a whole video about it because I get it wrong in my phone call with Jason Jensen. Like, it's really hateful. It spreads drama. It spreads confusion. It's done on purpose to try to get people discredit me and Fred over something so petty. Michelle loves to take a position of authority despite not having all her facts straight. Don't bother with those dedicated misunderstanding you. Yeah, I mean, that's what she's doing. She's absolutely reaching. One does not equal the other. Like, it doesn't even, it's not even in the same ballpark. And it's just crazy to me that that's what she came up with. And then she uses Jody Sue, of all people, as her reference. There's so many other things like to talk about when it comes to Summer Wells in that phone call. And that's what she decided to focus on. Okay. Something so petty, like just a simple, like mistaking when the boys were taken. That's what because she couldn't find any fucking thing else. That's how you know that these people are really reaching and up to something, is that that's the stuff that they want to give you a hard time about.
Andy didn't have a cousin that lived on Fields Road or Bell Road when someone went missing. Chad, he talked about his cousin Which he talked about Chad Light. Chad Light passed away a long time before someone went missing, but him and Chad used to hang tight.
Yeah.
That's where he talked about walking through that cut and stuff to his cousins. He talked about Chad's.
Yeah.
Before Chad passed away.
When did Chad pass? It was before summer?
It was before the bust and stuff in Hawkins County.
Oh, so a long time ago.
That big bust, because he ended up having that wreck and stuff, Chad did. And then he got out of the hospital with all them Delata, and then he overtook his Delata, and he went and got them off of James and stuff, and that's how they found the OD.
She took the bait from Fred's sister's hearsay interview and ran with it. There's an ego there that has grown and not for the better. Exactly. Like, it's crazy. This woman doesn't even live here in this country. And she thinks she knows. I mean, she's judging Fred. Like, has she never? I mean, I guess she's perfect. And it's not even judging Fred for his own words, it's judging Fred for me. Again.
But see, on Bell Road, there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 houses that's on Bell Road. Bell Road's just a little old short road. There's a private drive that breaks off of Bell Road that goes all the way back in behind Ben Hill. That's about a mile long, the private drive. But Bell Road's actually just a short.
It's a different Chad, not Chad Arnold, Chad Light.
Chad Light.
Chad Light used to live on Bell Road. He is deceased now, has been deceased for a very long time. And that is who Andy Bernard was speaking about when he talks about walking through the cut or whatever when they were kids to his cousin's house. He's talking about Chad Light. Chad Light is deceased now. You were asking who of his cousins lived on Bell Road. They don't live there, or he doesn't live there because he's not alive. It was just Andy talking about his experience as a kid and how when they were kids he would walk there, but they have no fresh info other than from Mr. Finds Nothing. He interviews some well-known, not so wonderful or trustworthy people, and people are believing them. It has driven me insane. Thank you, Tiffany. A local, from a local's mouth right here, knows that the people that Ryan's like relying on are completely incredible. But that's the whole point of it. But I can't understand what they're. If there's something deeper behind why they're doing this, why a group of these untrustworthy locals that he's are teaming up together against Fred with Ryan and his videos. I can't understand exactly why these local if there's something bigger behind it. Is it the same reason why Jody Sue is putting out so much bullshit and lies and confusion?
That's just like
or is it something different?
That's like Andy when he was talking about the footprints, footprints or something that was, or feet print, he called it, was found on his cousin's property. From what I know, where the footprints was found and stuff by this cousin stuff with law enforcement. It was way away from his cousin's place. It was probably almost a half a mile away from his cousin's place. From where I was told that they was found by through law enforcement.
Yeah, I mean, you get used to it. It's been happening so much that you get kind of used to it, unfortunately. So I just try not to. I don't see a lot of it. That's why this is something that was done, I guess, a few days ago. And I didn't watch it. I stopped watching her when she started, on this hate train and against Fred, being a part of it. They do it because it brings the views, guys. Look at their videos compared when they bring up Fred compared to other videos. I mean, come on, it only makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on Beach Creek got dirt on everybody, because at one point or another, everybody in that community's been in some bullshit. None of them down there can say that they've not either sold drugs or been into some kind of bullshit. They've a lot of them changed, supposedly trying to change and have changed and stuff, but everybody's got dirt on everybody, don't know.
Definitely all have to run each other and will not spill it. It's always been that way. That's one thing that doesn't change about the creek, and Fred broke all the mold, thank God. He spoke out and knew his own life would get flipped upside down and legal issues and so on, but a good person would for a child. We protect all children. Facts, Fred. Yes, thank you. That was the reason. And now Fred's being labeled a bad person, and they want to. Ryan's been helping, trying to like help these people, like put out, like helping spread this propaganda and confusion, all in the name because he claims he wants to see Ziggy go down, or and these people go around saying they hate Fred Hill. What the heck? Like you guys have problems if you have that much emotion, um, for people you've never met. Like there's something wrong with you. If you were in a hate chat every fucking night, making fun of, like, seriously, I was trying to get ready for this court thing, and every single thing that these people say is just like so hateful and negative, and it's all about pointing out like what I'm wearing, or
I mean, for stuff people say is online, you don't actually bother me at all.
no, but it's just it's messed up though when you think about it.
Up,
It's messed up because it's
me going down.
I know, but they shouldn't do, when it comes to Summer Wells, it causes a bunch of bullshit. And if we're trying to put puzzle pieces together, why, are these people participating in this stuff instead of actually wanting to get true answers? No, instead they're working up and teaming up in a group to try to make things look a certain way, because they have an agenda instead of the agenda being finding truth for Summer Wells. That's not what it is. Thank you, Paula. Fred the Manager, yeah, not over here on this end, no. We don't make the money. They're making the money off of us, but at the same time calling us the grifters, and it's just insane. Like they'll sit there and be reviewing my content while bringing in crazy super chats for their hate, and then calling us grifters. Well, I mean, what? It's such projection, and gaslighting is crazy. He spoke out and knew his own. Yes, and if they have changed, good, but a lot changed suddenly when Beach Creek was being looked into more for summer. It's disgusting. They have lost the cause of all of this. It's about a baby, a child with no voice. Yep. Like I said, Ryan's just making folks look stupid, plus he has no receipts. Mr. Fred's nothing has done nothing but try to find the roughest bunch to talk shit about Fred, literally. Thank you. Coming from a local, who knows of these people? And yes, Fred used to be a part of that freaking, some of the rough crowd and stuff around. When you're into the drug scene, you are around some shady people. But there are good people who get wrapped up in drugs, and overall good people, you know, doesn't necessarily mean that because you're in drugs that you're do other type crimes, you know. It is when people though are involved in drugs, yeah, it does make people it does like yeah, I understand why people looked at Fred a little bit more or who this guy was because he was in the drug scene. Yeah, I get it. But so is everybody else in that freaking in Beach Creek. But there are good people who get wrapped up in drugs. I mean, because they get addicted or whatever.
You do drugs don't mean you're actually a bad person.
That's the difference. So Fred knew he could get in trouble for what he was caught up in. Addiction becomes a disease. He's being allowed to be searched. He did it for a child. Yep. But you are blessed and your reward will be in heaven. Thank you. Exactly. Absolutely.
I mean, that is like when they asked to did my phone and stuff. I didn't know right then my days with numbers and stuff. And then they went no need to even try to lie about any kind of drugs, no nothing at that point because they done knew everything I thought.
And then somebody was messaging me like yesterday or day before, and it was really irritating because all of a sudden, because somebody that Ryan interviewed saying that they saw Fred on a motorcycle the day after Summer Wells went missing. Like,
you didn't see me on no motorcycle. I didn't even have one that run at that time.
Brandon Clark's Fred never was able to get that running.
No.
He didn't have a bike around the time Summer went missing.
Best
and
was about
but think
August, I think it was, or so before I actually got one that
people don't use their brain. They don't use their brain like, oh yeah, Fred's gonna be riding around, driving in and out of the hauler when there's a huge police presence. Fred didn't leave the hauler like as far as drive.
Several days after Summer.
He did not. He only left the hauler if he was in a vehicle with law enforcement. Going around to different, like, showing them different locations. He wasn't going to drive out of there when he didn't have a good license, when law enforcement set up shop right there for weeks. Like, people don't use their brains. Like, why aren't people questioning people when they say, oh, I saw Fred driving a motorcycle the day after? No, you fucking didn't.
See me riding.
And besides, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? What's that change about Summer's disappearance? I don't understand. What does that have to do with any fucking thing?
I ain't still riding that one bike.
And no, and you know, this person arguing with me about it in message, and it's like, first of all, let's say it was true. What does that have to fucking do with anything? It's not true, but let's say it was. What the fuck? What and why are you acting like this is some kind of like suspicious or shocking? I don't understand.
There's only two that run. One come from Peak and I got it like 6 months before I went to jail. Then the 800 intruder I had, I was trying to think it. His name earlier, I can't think of it now. It seemed like it was like August or something when I got it. About the end of August, I think, when I got it.
Yeah, there's no like.
John Van Zandt.
Oh yeah. Because I was like, the guy's name sounds like a freaking movie star or something.
Yeah, John Van Zandt's when I bought that 800 intruder off of it.
But that was way after Summer went missing.
Yeah, it was several months after Summer went missing. And then like 6 months before I went to jail for my drug charges, I got that 125, I think it was, or 150 or something other off of people.
Yes, Jerry Sue had lied, AB had lied, Fred stepped up. How the fuck do people not see this? Hey, September Angel. That's the problem. Is like Fred's the one being honest, and they don't want their drug shit. I mean,
Well,
and he hasn't. He's tried to keep certain things like quiet, but if people are asking him questions like if he doesn't say all the people he saw on the road that day and suddenly mentions somebody that was on the road later on, then all of a sudden, oh, Fred's a liar. Why didn't he say anything? You can't really win.
Knows, because YouTube people don't know some of it. Don't mean the law enforcement don't know it all.
And that's the whole reason why you don't just come out and say all this stuff, because you're not trying to put people's lives like out there and stuff. But when it comes up surrounding Summer Wells and people start asking questions, like, what are you supposed to fucking do? I guess, like,
I see some of them say, how is it they say it? Oh, it ain't up to Fred to decide who's a suspect or not. Well, it ain't up to them to decide who's a suspect or not either. It's up to the law enforcement.
yeah.
Just because I didn't drop that one boy's name,
Oh, yeah. See what I'm saying? The guy that you were supposed to get drugs off of or something that day?
Or that was bringing drugs back.
Yeah.
He had borrowed off of me like a week before.
I was saying he was getting you back for what
he
he owed
was
you.
bringing what he owed me.
And it's drug activity, so obviously Fred's not going to sit there and say, put that person's name out there. And when he does it,
because when he was on camera and stuff, it was about the same time as law enforcement was coming in, so Summer had to already be gone by the time he entered the holler, by the camera when they showed him coming in and out.
so they want. It's like, what do you guys want? Do you want every single little detail of everything out there, or do you? I mean, it's like people need to make up their mind. Oh, they put out so much freaking stuff on locals. And then air it all there. But then they'll say it's lies.
I feel like going live sometime and just airing it all out about an hour to do.
I hope. As if, Glenda Head is one of them, has a bunch of, and all those people that that came out in those interviews. There's a lot of fucking shit that they're into.
But it ain't got nothing to do with Summer, a lot of it.
Yeah,
should be aired out.
That you know about, really. But when certain things come up, like what was that place that they were going to in South Carolina or North Carolina to pick up Crossroads, when stuff like that comes up on videos, like D's True Crime puts out.
I just like Steve Miller talking about Glenda never have no drug problems and stuff. But why was she going to Crossroads to get Suboxone? Or not Suboxone, but Suboxone,
A big group of them would be going out there. Brian said Fred was irrelevant. Nobody, you keep talking. Exactly. He's irrelevant, okay? Then why is it your topic, like, constantly? All these people's topics constantly. That's what they want. So, that's what their worry is. Oh, they don't want Fred to be relevant. Instead of worrying about Summer Wells. I'm sorry, like, you're mad because Fred recorded for law enforcement and you're afraid he's going to be relevant? So you want to go around and say, oh, he didn't record for law enforcement? Like, oh my God, dude. So pathetic. Like, they're not focused on the right things. It's too much, then it's not enough, but when Mr. finds something does it, it's fine. Yeah. Of course, she got blocked. Let me read here. For some reason, folks are scared of them. Who's that? Which ones are they scared of? That's the difference. Our friend knew you get in trouble, be allowed. Scared of them. People's lives continue to flip the whole community upside down. This kind of thing hadn't happened around here. Of course, he had to keep some things between him and Ellie. Yeah, it makes you wonder why and what all they've been involved with. It's too much, then it's not enough. But then Mr. Finds Nothing does it. It's fine. Yeah. Well, when the truth is finally revealed, they're gonna. I mean, these people keep digging themselves like a hole by standing on that mountain this mountain of what they claim is as truth. That's gonna all come collapsing one day, and they keep building it up. The fall's gonna be greater and greater the more they freaking stand by what they're saying. Don't they think that we don't? I mean, how ridiculous would that make Fred and myself look if we were lying about Fred recording for law enforcement and seeing Andy on the road? Like when the truth came out, like. But yeah, I email and talk on the phone about this stuff and put out those calls with law enforcement. And these same people put out a freaking email because they bug law enforcement so hardcore about Fred. Put out an email and goes, "Here you go. Don't want to see you talking about Summer Wells anymore." You know, it was basically an email saying that they're not interested in Fred. Like, he's been looked into. You can leave it alone now. And then when it backfires, they want to be like, "Oh, no, it's about Cotton Simpson." Okay. First of all, Fred's never been a suspect for either one of them. But secondly, well, I mean, I guess I can't say that because they have to look into everybody around Summer. That was around Summer Wells. I'm sure they had to check everybody's timeline. But
my phone was crucial to the time. My timeline.
well, guys, I'm gonna go. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. I was only planning on. I was gonna make a short or whatever, but for this exact reason, but I was gonna make a short and ended up going live. Because I just don't understand.
I was just talking to you about it, you know.
I know,
how stupid it was is the only thing I was getting at.
It was stupid, and that's the whole thing you got out of a 2-hour call with Jason Jensen. These people are like, they are so bothered that Fred recorded for law enforcement. Like, they act like it's.
I was just laughing about how stupid they think.
Like, anybody would want to be in this fucking position. Like, are you fucking for real? Just keep pushing for the truth. Don't let them know. How did Jody Sue leave the 15th? I mean, I don't know. I guess they couldn't really tell people they weren't allowed to leave. I mean, even Don Wells was going down here, there, and everywhere, right? So if they were going to let Don Wells go wherever he wanted, then, I mean, they couldn't really tell Jody Sue where she could go.
I mean, Don, he was moving around the holler a lot that night. Because he come to my place and stuff, and when I walked down there to record stuff, you see, that's when he came back in while I was recording Jody Sue and Andy and
So he had left the holler?
Yeah, he came back in Ben Hill and pulled in his driveway and stuff. That's when he walked up and started talking to Andy and handed Andy that money that was folded up.
Yeah, it's so weird. The parents
And then Andy turned around and walked back to Don's car out of hearing distance. Because Don pulled in at his mailbox and we were standing up in Andy's driveway where I was recording that.
What is that? What does it say?
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about Jody and Andy leaving or whatever. If they left that night, they were still there when I walked back in, and it was dark at that time. When I walked back from recording them.
What's this new Department of Revenue tax amnesty program? I don't know. It's sending me an email about it saying I might be eligible. I don't know what that is. I want my student loans freaking. How about my student loans get wiped out? That'd be. I don't think I have freaking taxes. So how about my student loans? That'd be great. Alright, guys.
All it wasn't secure like people want to let on like it was. Because they didn't set the tent and stuff up until the next morning on the holler. Once the searchers and stuff took and moved.
Let's see, am I gonna get, is there a break enough in the,
Well, he was not. The next morning, it was
no, I was
like
wondering.
at 8 p.m. hours of the night when they set the tent and stuff up. Because if I say morning, the next morning.
Oh, I know, right? You're gonna be a liar. And then that's gonna mean that you didn't record for law enforcement and that you didn't see Andy on the road and you must have mistook the date because you didn't get exactly, didn't say exactly the time right, when they set up the tents. Craziness, dude. Fucking insane. As if the date of Summer's disappearance isn't gonna stick out more than the date of when Don Wells came down to Fred's talking crazy about calling DCS about the boys and which actually I just don't even understand it. Anyways, all right, guys. I think I've said that. I just.
I mean, that's just like Ronnie Lawson. The whole time I was around the law enforcement and stuff around up there, I've never seen Ronnie Lawson anywhere around the holler. Never seen him first time. And never even seen Pruitt either. I know there's pictures of Pruitt up on the hill and stuff, but as far as me speaking with Pruitt, I never spoke with Pruitt. The one that they is a different guy they sent out there when I turned that information in about the product center and stuff. It wasn't Pruitt.
When did you turn in the information about the products there? Was that?
They came to the holler. I went to the tent. I walked to the tent out there because I was
Oh.
going to leave. I was on the next day, you see.
Okay.
Because I actually hooked into mom and dad's Wi-Fi and stuff, and that's when that girl had contacted me and stuff and talked about supposedly seeing Candace at the aquatic center on the 15th morning.
And so that would have been just. So she contacted you just like the day after or something that happened.
Yeah.
So she probably was right then.
The Amber Alert and stuff.
Then that probably did happen because it was only the next day. She probably was telling the truth because, like, then for Ronnie wouldn't have got the dates wrong at all, because if it was like that soon that she told
when we
you.
talked to Don last, I asked him to ask Candace about who that woman was she met out or was talking to at the aquatic center on the morning of the 15th, and she tried to say she talked to a woman there about the CPS, but it wasn't on the 15th. What she tried to say, so I don't know.
It's hard not to keep saying because it's ridiculous mixing apart over that. Ryan was too busy covering for his. Oh man. Do you think that Ronnie Lawson or his son are worried about this new sheriff getting into office? Like that? I mean, I don't know if they could go back and like change anything about how that was handled.
No, they won't be able to go back and change how it was handled.
I didn't think so, but I didn't know. Like,
that's why a lot of people ain't come in arrested in Summer's case because they want to fuck up certain things. Because once you get charged with something, they can't charge you. Or if they try to charge you with something and you get out of it, it's hard for them to keep pressing other charges. You know?
yeah. Jody went from texting all day the 15th to taking out a PO. Huh. Yeah, all day except the key hours between 3:30 or like what time was it that they went quiet? Like during the most important times, it was like 3:30 to 5:30 or something that they come when Jody and Andy's texts kind of went silent and they stopped if those are even a real text.
Well, I know when I was recording on 15th and stuff, Jody was talking about that she even brought up the scream and stuff while I was recording, but she talked about she knew Summer was going at 3:20, and then she kept talking there on for another 5 minutes or something, and then she's like, "Well, we heard a scream at 5:30, roughly 5:30."
That's weird.
And then that's why me and law enforcement was discussing when we listened back on some of it. They're like, how can she know she's already gone right here at 3:20?
Mm-hmm.
And then hear a scream almost 2 hours later. It don't happen like that.
Tiffany says Scott is a good guy. He wants Summer's case solved.
But there's so much that I got on recordings that Jody's trying to put out and stuff, but it ain't like it was on that recording, you know?
Huh. Oh, but it's completely irrelevant. The recordings you did for law enforcement. That is just it completely. They mean nothing.
Yeah, Scott Stewart, he's the best guy for the job in Albany County by far. And a lot of East Creek community did not want Scott Stewart in. Because a lot of the criminal activity that's going on.
Right.
And had been going on. And they think he's not aware of it.
And he's gonna have first-hand knowledge. He should have first-hand knowledge of you recording too.
Oh no.
He should.
Because they were just him and Reba and Scott, Reba, Gary, Nate, and I'm trying to think of the other one.
Because of
that was the main ones. Then they had like 8 that was part time with them.
This is actually drug task force that had you record.
Yeah, the same group.
Same group that Scott Stewart's with currently.
They're not just a task force or a drug task force. They're a lot bigger than drug task force. I'm trying to think. They work with a lot of different agencies.
She says, Tiffany says, you're right. They didn't want him because he's planning to clean this place up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now they want to kiss his ass because that's the next best thing to do.
A lot of creators like Nana for Life and Ryan and all of them, they was wanting that Rodney Miller in there. Rodney Miller was one of the least qualified of them. But the worst one could have got in was fucking Tony Allen. Tony Allen's one that's been running Hawkins County since Lawson's been there.
Hey, Cold Never Rain. Hey, Shannon. Yeah, I do. I think it's pretty ridiculous to judge Fred, for one, for something I said and call Fred a liar. I mean, we're two different people. For two, it was just a honest mistake about, and three, it was a private conversation that we put out. It's silly. It's very silly. And the focus should be on something much more, like, out of all that conversation, that's what you want to fucking pick at. It blows my mind. It's always stuff like that, dude. It's always petty shit. Because they pit, and if it's not, they make it up. I wonder what PG's big lies and claims are going to be tonight. What new shocking information she has tonight. It's always new shocking information on PG's every fucking night. Every night she has new breaking information. Jeez.
When his case is solved, and it will be solved, people that's back PG and stuff, they're gonna take real disgusting.
Hopefully it exposes who she is. Looking at Tracy's text lady, she did not respond from 3:30 to 5, right? Roddy is trash, drama trash. Tony Allen is a predator. Ronnie's right hand man. Fred is right. It says Tiffinator. No. See, it sounds like Tiffinator and you have had the similar experience in.
I mean, I was rooting for Scott Stewart and praying to God he would end up sheriff, but I figured that Hawkins County wasn't ready for the change. I still figured that they would still try to keep Tony Allen in there to keep the bullshit going, you know. I'm so thankful to hear him. So maybe Hawkins County's ready for a change. Hopefully.
They pick on you because they know you're too nice to do anything.
And Scott was one that busted me, had a buy made off of me and stuff all over my paperwork, and I'm thankful that he took them, had me busted and stuff.
Yeah, who knows where things would be right now? Can you imagine? I don't even know what would have came.
And that isn't even like Jeff Everly, one that made the buy, aka Dreamer.
Yeah, Dreamcatcher, I think was his name.
Wasn't Dreamer.
It? Dreamer.
That's what his
PI name was.
Yeah. But I'm not even mad at him for making the buy off of me. And he can't deny it. I should take him, play the CD for everybody of the buy. He shows his face plain as day, everything. They're like,
if they would even.
They act like I never know who got me. But when they brought my motion to discovery, actually the day they done the polygraph on Cotton, when I come out and stuff and talk to Ronnie and all that, and booking and stuff after that, they're like, your attorney's here. And I'm like, I ain't got no attorney. They said, yeah, your attorney's here to speak with you. I'm like, okay, but I didn't know I had one. But when I went in the booth to talk to him, he already had my motion discovery, everything, showed me the CDs of the buys, everything. And it showed you how them putting the camera on him and everything. Showed his face, everything in the car while they was wearing him up. Exactly where they put the camera, everything on him.
Wow.
Because he took and wrecked that one stolen motorcycle he had up there on Mountain View, leaving from Betty Joe Simpson's, and broke his wrist and stuff. And that's where they put that camera at.
Vickers Auto? Isn't that where, do you know Vickers Auto?
Yeah.
Ask her if he remembers Vickers Auto. He may know the truth behind that. Is that the guy? Oh, that's the guy that got killed.
Yeah. I really don't. I know the girl that worked there at the time and stuff. I mean, I know some. I mean, just what I've been told.
We had two good choices, Scott or David, but thankfully, God, Tony got exposed for what he's done to many women. 911 dispatchers have quit in droves and told their stories on the county pages. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I'm
Yeah,
waiting on Dunn to come out. I'm waiting on them to turn on him.
Oh, one of the.
Lieutenant. The one that's sleeping with all of the female inmates and stuff. And most of the female workers, guards and stuff.
Yes, Lawson knows. I'll just leave it to that. Yeah, that's what they're saying over. Yeah, I saw those pages. I saw on pages and stuff with their.
And see, Don's one that come in and video that one cell I was in that had all that graffiti on the walls and stuff, and then that's when they come in and try to say I had a cell phone and was live streaming from the cell and stuff. And he was the one that come in and videoed the room and all the graffiti on the wall before they painted it that morning about summer and stuff.
Isn't he the one that's always messed up?
What's that?
Isn't he always messed up? Isn't he the one?
No, not Dunn is.
Oh.
That's shoot, I can't remember. Davis. Davis is one that would always come in B pods so messed up he couldn't even walk through the pod. He'd walk a little ways and lean up against something, dropping his phone 3 or 4 times and trying to take and stand up to walk on.
Alan has done horrific things to young women or young girls in custody and working positions. Well, Fred has heard things from one of the women that's passed away now, but
she told many stories about Alan. Tony Owens.
And he would pull her over and stuff and try to get her on shit to that way he could have something on her to try to exploit her. You know what I mean? I don't even know. I'm kind of afraid to even talk about a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's other people talking definitely in groups. On these pages, if you go to Hawkins County, I think it's called.
Alan was taking in $10,000 money drops too for certain ones that keep running the drugs around the creek too.
That does sound good, Shannon.
I feel like Scott's going to do real good. I have a lot of faith in Scott.
Who's David?
David.
She said the other good candidate was David. David.
I said Davis.
No, David. Her. She said that the other good candidate they had for sheriff was David.
Oh, I don't know.
I think she said.
One from Bull's Gap or whatever.
Scott or David. I have been worried as well as to what to say. Christina, that is no longer alive, was a victim of Alan. Do you know a woman named Christina that's passed away? That could have bought.
Unless you went by different
Sounds like a lot like that one where the officer or the sheriff killed the judge. A lot of that type of stuff was going on in that county too, and that's only like how far away from Beach Creek? It's in the same area. It's like what, an hour away, hour and a half away, where that incident happened in Kentucky with and that kind of women were coming out after that situation. One after another talking about their experiences with that judge and stuff and what he was doing. It wasn't just the judge, it was also other, they all like stick together and will talk. Is it something that you get? Is it like a restaurant or? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're. I don't know if we have those up here. I don't know where you would get those here. They stole funds together. I did not. Okay, guys, I gotta pee really bad, so I'm gonna have to force myself to get off here because.
Yeah, Hawkins County is corrupt.
It's a good old boy system. They all have dirt on each other enough to make it all crumble. I pray Scott cleans house. I know. I wonder. I wonder.
Good officers and stuff down there. Don't get me wrong, but there's more bad ones than good ones.
Well, this is what happens when there's no limit on how long somebody can serve a term as sheriff or in these county positions. There definitely should be a limit. Like, there's. All right, guys, have a good evening, and I'll talk to you later. Yes, more bad than good. And thank you, Tiffany, for coming in here. It's been interesting talking to you with your experience, and you should come in here more often. And goes back on case sleep. Yeah, that whole situation. I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know if they can go back on what happened with Brandon Lawson or whatever. But maybe they could. Well, I'm sure they could look into the corruption surrounding it, and maybe there might be some people getting in trouble. But I don't know. I don't. It doesn't sound like Brandon's gonna get like resentenced or anything. But I wonder how many people are really scared about Scott Stewart being in office. I wonder if there's like some people in these positions that are kind of scared. Have a good evening. I have to come back. Yes. You should email me. Red Truck and Boys seen same day. Yeah, email me about what you mean on that. About what you mean about the Red Truck and Boys seen the same day. Which are you talking about? Jody Sue's son, or are you talking about Sherfy? I know there's a rumor about Sherfy Jr. Oh, dang it. I wanted you guys to see that. Oh, okay. Yes, the son. Yep. My email, it's really easy to remember, but it's YouTubeZiggy@outlook.com. Son. Okay, Jerry Sue's son. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll talk to you